Welcome back to the NASCAR Inside Line Custom Season, where today we'll be getting race 3 of 36 at the Auto Club Speedway for the Auto Club 400. Last week's winner was Carl Edwards in a race that saw 14 cautions, which actually tied the record from the 2009 Vegas race. Qualifying just wrapped up. Here's your lineup. Dylan Murway and Jeff Gordon are on the front row. Tony Stewart and Greg Biffle are in row 2. Kyle Busch and Casey Kane are in row 3. Clint Boyer, Kevin Harvick are in row 4. Denny Hamlin and Matt Kenseth are in row 5. Jimmy Johnson and Mark Martin in row 6. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Marcus Ambrose are in row 7. Martin Truex Jr. and Carl Edwards are in row 8. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Juan Pablo Montoya are in row 9. And Sam Hornish Jr. and Brad Keselowski are in row 10. Row 11 finds Ryan Newman and Kurt Busch. Row 12 finds Jeff Burton and Jamie McMurray. Row 13 finds Paul Menard and Trevor Bayne. Row 14 finds Joey Logano and Danica Patrick. Row 15 finds David Reagan and Regan Smith. Row 16 finds David Stremme and Austin Dillon. Row 17 finds Scott Speed, Bobby Labonte. Row 18 finds Casey Mears and Landon Castle. Row 19 finds Travis Kvapil and Eric Almirola. Row 20 finds David Gilliland and Robbie Gordon. Row 21 will find Joe Nemechek and Josh Wise. And row 22 will find Michael McDowell. Let's go racing. For 50 laps today, Dylan Murway, Jeff Gordon are on the front row for the start as Let's Go Racing in Hollywood. Some of the key things we can expect in this race is that you can expect a lot of green flag runs, especially with this being a sister track to Michigan. You can also expect multiple grooves of racing, as you see demonstrated here. Obviously not at the start of the race because there's currently 2 grooves, but as the race wears on and tires start to wear out, you're going to see a lot of guys start to search. As you see, we're going down in turn 1, Dylan Murway into the 5 of Casey Kane for the 3rd spot, trying to keep it under him. And so far, Dylan's just trying to look for a spot to get in. Here, it looks like he'll have to fade all the way back to 6th just to get his bearings about him. As Jeff Gordon is your early leader here at Auto Club. Matt Kenseth is currently the fastest car on the racetrack. He is Roush Fenway typically is dominated here at Auto Club. Auto Club in Michigan are 2 tracks Ford is fairly good at. So you can look for Kenseth and Biffle to be pretty strong today. Saw Greg Biffle was tucked up behind Jeff Gordon on that initial start. As you see, Mark Martin in 7th. Maybe trying to hook up to Dylan Murway, maybe. So far, it is early 4 laps. It seems like everybody is kind of doing the same approach they had at Daytona, is just hook up into little groups and draft with each other. As you don't know, maybe try to lead Marcus Ambrose. Looks like he was, but Ambrose ducks to the bottom. Dylan Murway trying to hold it under Mark Martin in the middle as he drifts up the racetrack. Definitely a big moment there as Dylan Murway already definitely got out of the groove. He looks like he might be wearing out his right sides way more than his lefts. Jeff Gordon continues to lead. As right now, with the way things are going, I'm sure Dylan Murway is probably getting on the radio to his crew chief, "Give me tires." Because that's twice. Every time he slides off turn 2, he ends up driving out of the groove and into the fence. As you can probably already tell, he's trying to search for any form of grip. As Dylan Murway continues his skid further back in the pack, Tony Stewart started third on the inside. He's already fallen to 12th in front of the 18 of Kyle Busch. In this one. And they get together off of 2. And that was some pretty big contact, too, between these 2 cars. Kyle Busch tries to figure out which way to go. He's going to stay with Tony. Jeff Gordon continues to lead here in the Auto Club 400 with Greg Biffle tucked right into that back bumper. Looks like we might be getting green flag pit stops already. See how far some of the guys further back may be stretching fuel. As Kyle Busch comes down to pit road along with a host of others, and now begins green flag stops. Not sure who's going to come down. Dale Jr. and Denny Hamlin have cycled out after. Looks like they might be coming down as well. We'll see how this pit stop cycle will play out. And it looks like pretty much everybody's coming down pit road. Yeah, pretty much everybody's down there. As Robbie Gordon has cycled around to be the leader on this round of stops. As of right now. And we're green. Everybody back onto the racetrack, as looks like a few more may have hit, as we'll see how the cycle shakes out. You can probably tighten this thing up too. That probably would have been a pretty good idea. Matt Kenseth cycles around to the lead on this round of stops, as 10 laps have been completed, as we are working lap 11 right now. Kenseth is cycled out to be the early leader here at California. As looks like Dylan Murway will maybe hook up with Tony Stewart here, see how they go. Push him a little further down in the straightaway. And the caution has just come out. And Scott Speed is on the inside, spun to the inside wall. Casey Kane and Jeff Gordon are on the front row for this restart. So we get ready for our first restart of the day, and we're back in the green. Casey Kane with a good restart as he looks to get under right in front of the 29 of Harvick. How about this? Jimmy Johnson on the outside. Jamie Murray with a nice little burst of momentum on the outside lane behind the 48. As Dylan Murray gains a couple spots, Jeff Gordon goes right back to the lead. But Casey Kane leads on the inside. On the inside lane, and everything seems to settle back down. Ooh, big moment. Yeah, we're tight. As Dylan Murray washed right up into Jimmy Johnson off turn 4. He's trying to get down in front of the 31 of Burton for a spot. Trying to get ahead of him. As they're 3 wide, I believe, for 4th, as there's a little 4-car knot. And how about David Reagan getting up into the top 10 with a strong car performance so far today? Ooh, 3, 4 wide. There's going to be a knot, and big knot here. And it looks like that seems to settle out as Junior gets a few spots. Dylan Murway all the way to the inside. Under Marcus Ambrose and the 29 of Kevin Harvick. Ooh, there goes Burton to the inside. Dylan Murway and Jeff Burton, they get together. They somehow save it. After getting loose, Burton has gotten back up onto the racetrack. We do stay green. He's probably slid all the way back to the 40s. And other than those two minor incidents and Scott Speed hitting the wall on the backstretch, is we've been cleaning green. One caution. The entire race so far for that is we're getting ready to be in the second round of green flag stops. With Kevin Harvick leading a couple cars now. As it looks like Dylan Mulroy may have to, like he's going to try to, he usually tries to stretch, but this place wears tires out so much, you're probably going to need to pit here, but you kind of can't when you're already trapped on the bottom part of the lane, middle and upper part of the racetrack. Mark Martin has circled to cycle to the lead in the 55 Toyota. Had some success here in the Craftsman Truck Series back in the mid-2000s. In the number 6 truck driving for Jack Roush. Still no way, slows down. And they're on pit road. I don't know. Ready to get out pit road as the field cycles out. Greg Biffle is out front. Not sure what he's going to be doing. He's got a car stopped in turn 3, it looks like. He gets going. He's on the map over in 3. As looks like, yeah, he does get going. He's just a bit slower than the average bear. Greg Biffle is on pit road now, so it's Kyle Busch that was slowing up. No, it was Nemechek. He's going way slower than everybody else right now. That could very well be a caution if someone hits him just right. Paul Menard trying to get it, maybe hook up with Dylan Mulroy here. As out. Michael McDowell is currently your leader on the track right now as we speak. He's on pit road, so he'll probably cycle back out in the lead, or cycle back out into where he belongs, and probably have Jeff Gordon cycle. Oh! Ooh, almost a big moment there between Kenseth and Hamlin. Almost like Kenseth merged up into Hamlin and almost spun the 11 out. And I don't think Hamlin's going to be too happy about that. Tony Stewart is your leader as in the middle of the cyclist stops. And we're on the working lap 25, only one caution this entire race. That was for a single car incident with Scott Speed earlier, so Tony Stewart is your current leader. In fact, let's go ahead and run through the field real quick. From where they're at. There's Denny Hamlin and Matt Kenseth. They got together when Kenseth came on pit road. That's what caused Hamlin to have his issues. They're 8th and 7th. Jimmy Johnson is 6th. By the way, Paul Menard's sitting back in 10th. Greg Biffle is 5th. Just going to be showing you the top 10 here. There's Brad Keselowski in 4th. And Tony Stewart leading up in turn 3, followed by Mark Martin and Dale Earnhardt Jr. fighting for the second spot. Tony Stewart leads the halfway lap in today's race here at Auto Club. So far, it looked to be the race that was dominated pretty heavily by Jeff Gordon and a little bit by Mark Martin. So far, Dylan Murway has been finding a very tight condition in his 25 Sunoco Chevrolet for this race. He's been really trying to keep the car under him, but nice thing about being out front is engine temp's cool. In fact, it's cooling down right now as he's driving. Currently sitting at 181. So far, it has been a fairly clean race compared to last week where we had several cars flying through the air and crashing. Freaking 14 cautions. Dylan Murway is racing out of California today. We've only had one. And we're working a long green flag run as we speak, which, again, like I mentioned at the start of the race, is very typical at this place. It looks like Jimmy Johnson might be starting another round of green flag stops. About 4 cars on pit road. Four more cars on pit road as we speak. So far in the race, that's, again, not really seen a lot in terms of action. As we begin another round of green flag pit stops, Greg Biffle is down, Tony Stewart is down, so Mark Martin is your leader as we speak. .22 laps to go in this race. In a race that's only seen one caution as Brad Keselowski passes Mark Martin on the racetrack. And here comes Dylan Murway down pit road being joined by the 27 of Paul Menard. And here we go back onto the racetrack. One lap down again with Greg Biffle leading. Biffle is statistically, Auto Club in Michigan has been one of Greg Biffle's better tracks. Same with probably the majority of Jack Roush as well, as the pit cycle continues to cycle around. I'd like to remind you the next race will be at Phoenix next week, or at Phoenix on Saturday. As for the majority of these races will be either on Tuesdays or on Saturdays. As that's what a majority of this races, races will be, with the exception of Daytona on Monday and Kentucky on Thursday night. Both of them will be at night. Majority of the races will be either Tuesdays or Saturdays, except for like 3 weekends, with obviously the Watkins Glen doubleheader coming up later in the season. That'll be Friday and Saturday. And the Daytona and Kentucky races will both of them will be at night, and both of those will be Monday night at Daytona and Thursday night at Kentucky. Tony Stewart continues to shuffle out into the lead. We got another car stalled down at the bottom of the racetrack that looks like, you can tell that was there in the, because I drove by him so fast. And it looks to be he's down in the grass. It is the 16 of Greg Biffle. What's his issue? Let's go on board the Sunoco Chevrolet from our bumper cam. The thing that'll probably be broken in a couple weeks at the short tracks. I know this wasn't really talked about in the much previously last week because we had a lot of cautions, but the way some of these cars are set up when they hit the brakes is you can feel the car start to set down in the corner, if you will. You can feel it set down and down to the track and stick, versus compared to like Daytona where you're basically wide open, save for pit road. Especially at the short tracks like Martinsville, coming up at the end of the West Coast swing in Texas, your car sits onto the ground, basically. You can kind of see it sit here as well from the back of the car. Oh, bit of a moment there between Mark Martin and Landon Castle. Dylan Murway is going to go down low, probably get him, maybe get the 11 of Hamlin in turn one. Only one caution this entire race, and we've already been through a couple of green flag cycles. And it looks like Bobby Labonte may be heading to pit road. Sorry, it is the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, which should start the next round of pit stops in the next couple laps as Dylan Murway continues to drive into the corner. And Tony Stewart continues to dominate and make this race. He actually won this race in 2012. Granted, it was a rain-shortened race, but Tony Stewart got a win here at Auto Club, and obviously a year later was known for probably the greatest response to a Joey Logano issue I have ever heard. You NASCAR fans should know what I'm talking about. "13 laps to go here at Auto Club Speedway during the probably what could be the final round of green flag stops. And a race that's only seen one caution the entire day, which was for the 95 of Scott Speed in turn 3, crashing to the inside. And since then, we've seen a couple cars have issues and drive through the grass for some reason. But other than that, that hasn't really been caution worthy. We've only seen lots of green flag pit stops and drivers holding some pretty large leads. And here comes Dylan Murway, maybe cycling out front here. Currently down in 4th. He's getting ready to head down pit road as we speak for what could be the final pit stop of the day, unless they get another caution. Kenseth continues to lead in this final cycle here with 11 laps to go. As hopefully the final round of pit stops will occur in this race. Only other major moment was Denny Hamlin and Matt Kenseth almost crashing coming off pit road. And we'll see how things shake out as Matt Kenseth has also come out to pit road. 17. As things continue to cycle around. And Robbie Gordon is now on pit road, leading. And then Castle comes down. As if things cycle out to the way they are, we'll probably see either Greg Biffle or Tony Stewart take the lead. Dylan Murway going around the 11 of Denny Hamlin for 9th position. Keselowski cycling to the lead in the 2. As somehow out of that, Dylan Murway cycles out to 6th. Oh, okay, that was almost big. Dylan Murway tried covering a block on Denny Hamlin off the corner, otherwise that would have been a big moment there between the two. As looks like the last couple of cars are heading on to pit road. The lap car of Logano. Whoa! Almost got into him. He was slowing up big. 8 to go. Looks like more cars continue to pit or coming off pit road. David Stremme, one of them, and Danica Patrick as well. Boys. When we get to the line, there will be 7 laps to go. Try to draft off this 11 of Denny Hamlin. Under him, hopefully Robbie Gordon will be, he can use the 7 of Robbie Gordon as a pick if he actually gets some momentum going. You can actually use it to get some momentum off 2, and he will do just that. Again, Brad Keselowski continues to dominate this race. And with only 1 caution and really only 2 major moments between the 17 of Kenseth and the 11 of Denny Hamlin, obviously they came out of pit road, and the accident involving Scott Speed, we have not had a lot of cautions, which is a complete far cry because I was expecting this race to have at least 5 or 6. But 1 caution and basically running the entire race wire to wire. As here comes the drivers for their final round of stops. Drivers coming off. Scott Speed, the 93 of Travis Kvapil. Got a couple lap cars up ahead, and Carl Edwards and Kurt Busch. The field continues to lead. Four laps to go. Unless a caution were to come out right now, fuel has to become a major part of conversation this afternoon. Today, Trevor Bayne coming onto pit road. Three laps to go in a race that has been pretty heavily dominated by either Greg Biffle, Tony Stewart, or Brad Keselowski as Carl Edwards gets into the wall. As Nemechek spins, maybe saves it. No caution somehow. So Dylan Murray takes the lead here with 2 to go, hoping he doesn't have a caution. Oh, this could get big. He could take the white flag on pit road here, and then this race could very well be official unless there's a yellow. Like right there, we're going to overtime. Ryan Newman and Regan Smith crash in turn 3. That's a big hit, too. Newman landed right in front of Regan Smith. 4 tires and fuel for the first green-white checkered attempts. Only the second caution flag, and we ran 30-plus laps under green. Adding some tape to that car. We're going to need fuel, obviously. 4 tires is also a bonus. This could be probably the most critical pit stop of this race, right here. Only one car came down pit road. Or only a couple. Granted, a majority of them were probably a lap down from the green flag racing we were having. Matt Kenseth gets out second, I believe, is Dylan Murway and Matt Kenseth are on the front row for this overtime attempt. Look at all the cars that have to take wave rounds. There's a whole sheet. "27 cars took the wave around. Robbie Gordon took the lucky dog. Here we go. First green, white, checkered attempt. We get up to 3. If they make it to the 3rd, there's a wreck. We race regardless. Matt Kenseth with a great run on the outside lane. He's got Biffle behind him, bringing Tony Stewart and Kurt Busch as well. Sorry, those are lapped cars. I misspoke there. Coming to the line, there will be 2 laps to go as several more cars come onto pit road. Matt Kenseth, Greg Biffle tucked in. Do we make it to the white flag, and who will be the first to get it? Will it be a Roush driver, or will Dylan Murway try to spoil the party? Off of turn 4, we will see the white flag very shortly. Matt Kenseth, Greg Biffle coming to take the white flag. Whatever happens, happens. Matt Kenseth and Greg Biffle. Question is, who will make the move into 3? Will Dylan Murway be able to send it? Drives it in deep, and it is not enough. Matt Kenseth will come off of turn 4, and he will win the Auto Club 400. Let's look at the results. I want to see this. How many cars ended up a lap down? Anybody from 18th on back was a lap down. Tough go for Kyle Busch. 2 laps down. Matt Kenseth wins today's race at Auto Club. Greg Biffle is second, so Roush 1-2 for Roush Fenway. Dylan Murway with a nice run in 3rd. Carl Edwards 4th. Brad Keselowski 5th. Dale Jr. 6th. Paul Menard 7th. Jeff Gordon, 8th. Sam Hornish Jr. with a nice run today at 9th. Clint Boyer, 10th. Mark Martin is 11th. Jamie McMurray, 12th. Kevin Harvick, 13th. Ricky Stenhouse, 14th. David Reagan, 15th. Martin Truex, 16th. Casey Kane, 17th. And Jimmy Johnson's 18th. Tony Stewart's 19th. And Kurt Busch is 20th. We look through the rest of the field. Tough go for Denny Hamlin today. Same with Ryan Newman as well. Even worse go for Kyle Busch and Joey Logano. Both of them 1 lap down. Regan Smith, Juan Montoya, they had some tough goes today. And the final 3 cars, the running order. Tune in this Saturday for the final race of the West Coast Swing at Phoenix at 2:30 Eastern.